Get ready, get set for the best movie and pop culture talk in the universe. It's the Good Brothers on Mercado Airwaves with your hosts, Alex Mercado and Mike Mercado.
Welcome back to the Good Brothers, folks. That's Mike. I'm Alex. Alex, Mike. We are the Good Brothers, here to talk about everything in our universe and a galaxy far, far away.
And everything that is in Westeros, Alex,
And Coachella.
along with what is going on in the Endgame. Good Brother, we have so much to talk about on this episode of the Good Brothers. How have you been?
Excited. Like,
Yeah.
I'm starting to get jittery now that we're a week away.
Yeah.
Like, you know, obviously the spoilers came out. We're going to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah.
People are being really cool. People were really cool last movie. I think, like, honestly, like, I think social media's kind of got it down. You know how to avoid things. Like, you have to really hard find to get into some things.
Yeah, we'll get into
that.
So, yeah. Other than that, we survived the Game of Thrones season premiere, and we just got a lot to get into. So why don't we kick it off with Game of Thrones itself? Anybody who has not watched it, we're going to be kind of loose on
jump
spoilers.
Off the wall.
Yeah, but why don't we go ahead and if you're afraid of any spoilers, you haven't caught up, go ahead and skip it out. But Al, Good Brother, what did you think? It was a good episode. I really enjoyed the season premiere of
Game of Thrones season premieres. Like, and I've been rewatching every season. The way you got to look at it is they've been pretty good about this. The premiere is always going to be a setup episode, and you might get something crazy, but more likely than not, it's a setup for the season. And then you're going to get an episode 5 where you're going to get like horror, like it's a mid-season finale, quote unquote, like it's crazy. And then 9 is almost the real season finale, and then 8 or the last episode is set up for the next season. Like, I found the pattern they go for.
But we obviously don't have that at all in this season because there's not the same amount of episodes, and we do know that there's a big jump after this episode. The last few episodes of the series are going to be almost 80 minutes long each, so they're going to be basically movies each episode.
And you know what? I'll be honest, rewatching them, I never realized how long, there's some episodes that are like nice 54 minutes. You know how HBO is. They throw an extra 10 minutes of beginning end for you.
Right.
And I'm like, man, that's a solid. They got a lot in here. So the episodes like before were there like an hour and 10, like Battle Bastards or something, like where it's like a lot longer. You're like, man, they fit a lot in that episode. I can only imagine what they're going to fit in. I love this episode because we got a lot of like, not closure, but like set up about like relationships we haven't seen in a while. And rewatching, you're like, oh, I remember that. You're like, you're like, oh shit, she hasn't seen him since the first episode, and he hasn't seen him since the very first episode. Like, it's crazy to me that and we've had a 2-year gap too, so we haven't seen these characters in 2 years.
And what's interesting is now that we're here, I was thinking about this last week, and I really didn't mention it during our preview of it, but you know, that idea that I remember when season 7 finale happened, and we were just so hyped, and then we found out that the season 8 was even delayed further. This is a delayed season. This was pushed back about 4 months. It was pushed back. And now that we've come here, and I can't believe that we only have 5 episodes left.
Like, we're here. We're on the road.
I think the big episode, the fight, is episode 3. I think next episode is kind of the reckoning.
We're going to get a taste, like, oh, they're here.
It's a reckoning. So next week is the reckoning of almost every character that's going to get us to that. Whoever's going to be at that fight with the White Walkers has its reckoning.
So how about this?
Episodes.
1 and 2 set up. 3, 4, big war. 4, 5, we need to settle who's running these kingdoms.
And 6 kind of wraps up the series in general. But the 6 is going to be another almost 80-minute episode.
That's what I meant. I
have one thing I want to talk about this episode specifically, because I've seen the jokes of Cersei, okay, about if you want a whore, pay for one. If you want a queen, earn her.
And then she slept with them.
Here's the thing, though. If you're the memes are funny. Like, the joke is funny.
Oh, the joke's funny. Yeah, it's very funny.
But for the true Throners, for the true Game of Thrones fans, everybody knows she won that encounter.
No,
she won that encounter.
Like, she's always a step ahead. And
she's a step ahead.
She's been proving ever since her arranged marriages and her children. Like, she's always a step ahead.
So I want to ask you, memes aside, do you really think people thought she lost in that scenario, or do you think...
No, people are just being funny.
Okay.
I think we all know Cersei's badassness at this point.
Yeah, she's way ahead of this dude.
No, I think I love there's so many memeable things with, like, the dragon looking Bran and Bran and Jamie. Yeah. It's just hilarious.
How great was that ending?
But that's because I'm saying, like, you're like, holy shit, that's something so subtle, but like, yeah, that was what set us up on this journey. And this entire journey is based off that decision of them trying to murder her son.
Yeah.
And it's like, these two people are still around.
And
it's
how
like,
important
what
they
now?
are.
Like, And now you're like, well, they're both handicapped, and he's obviously traded alliances.
Now, here's some stuff I want to talk about that you brought up, Brandon and Jamie, that they're putting up together. You talk about Arya and Jon, but how about the fact that we get the Kingslayer talking to Daenerys finally?
Yeah.
The Kingslayer killed her father.
Like, we're getting to, was that her father or was
That's
that her uncle?
the Mad King
Okay,
is her
yeah,
dad.
that's her dad. Like,
so, like, she gets to talk about not only Cersei's lover, Cersei's
and then we got to see
father.
Sansa meet them.
Now, I want to ask you this.
Arya and Grendy makes me smile.
Great.
Because
I hope they get together because
They
Arya's
had to
bad
have
enough that she
to.
can have she can have it both ways though. Arya could be a badass and also have
She's
him.
get him mad.
So here's the thing though.
The Hound.
Well, we'll talk about
Oh,
Sophie.
so good. So good.
We'll talk about Sophie Turner in a second too because of X-Men, the trailer that just dropped. But I want to talk about Sansa in this. I think she's had great growth in it. I agree with a lot of people. I've kind of over Daenerys, which is really interesting how they've written her. And I like the fact that the story has now become Daenerys versus Jon. That is what the endgame is. They won't.
But I think it's a swerve.
I don't think so.
I think she's going to be willing to step aside and be queen and let him be king.
There's never been anything in the series that's shown that. She's always been
That's
somebody
why it's
that
a swerve, bro.
But now they're gonna do it. Like now, all of a sudden, they're. I don't think now they're just gonna diverge from what the characters normally would do. This isn't a Jax Teller in the back of a cop car telling us, guys, I was High Curzose the whole time. Like no, like this is something it's all been ingrained in us.
I mean, that's my guess. I think it's all a swerve. I think eventually something's going to happen where I think she'll follow the laws and be like, you know what? Like, he's the rightful heir to the throne.
Do they keep hooking up?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude. I mean, dude, this is a show where they're like, that's not a big deal, honestly. Like, especially when you watch the older episodes, you're like, that's not that big of a deal.
So,
like, Homeboy had a whole kingdom of his own daughters and granddaughters.
No, right. Now, do you think, has your ideas of where we're heading into the rest of the season changed after episode 1?
Kind of, because you know what? Here's the thing. I'm not for sure, though, because you're right. Because I could see her and him turning on each other for their families. Because I think, like I said, I think it's 1 and 2 is set up. I think 3, we're not spending the whole season with White Walkers. I think people need to accept, like, that's a 2-episode arc, I think.
Yeah, and we're getting
and then that's going to die. Like, there'll be 3 hours of White Walker, like a movie. Mm-hmm. We're going to defeat them. Okay, we're at episode 5 and 6. How do we continue the world? Like, who's ruler? And then we're back to, like, season 1 and 2 stuff where you're like, well, he's the rightful heir. Well, Sansa is technically the rightful queen of the North.
So what do you think about at the very end where we see the little boy who was in the beginning of the episode and that he's hung up in the wall and the way that it's shaped with the limbs? We saw that back with, like, what were they, the fairies or the whatever they were in the cave.
Forgotten.
Yeah, but then it kind of looks like the Targaryen dragon as well on fire. So what do you think the symbolism of that is? Do you think that means anything?
I don't know. Like that's a big mystery because that could be like 7 different people.
Sure.
And then it always could be them setting her up. Like, how do we know, like, she's very sweet and they're like, oh, you know what, but, like, I want Jon to hate her. Like, it's just very random. Like, it's hard for you to guess who's going to really end up there.
Do you have any?
For all we know, like, if I had to throw my crazy guess out there, I think everyone dies, but, like, I think Jon Snow dies. I think Daenerys dies. I think the ones that live are, like, their background characters. I think Tyrion he's the king. I think he'll be the king. The imp is the king.
I think it's going to be split.
Like, they're all going to kind of do their own thing.
Yeah.
Like, okay, they're going to run.
But here's the
You
thing.
think they'll end up together?
I don't know, but here's the thing. For all we know, by episode 3 or 4, they end up on King's Landing and the White Walkers do and destroy the Iron Throne.
Is there? Yeah, but like, there's still gonna be a ruler.
How about this? How about at the end of it? Maybe at the end of it, it was the Endgame is indeed the Iron Throne. Like, what if you talk about a swerve? What if then they decide that the White Walkers or one of the dragons destroys it, and at the end of it, there's no throne.
There might be this where I think they kill so many people that, like, because I think the Iron Islands, they play that up that, like, they can't get to us. So, like, they have a dragon, so I think that's dumb. Yeah. But I think that's interesting because you're like, huh, like, that's gonna come back to play. They don't do stuff like that to not touch on it. What happened? Did they kill so many people that, like, we're only left with enough people for, like, one kingdom? And we won. The war's over, but now we're down to one kingdom, and we're rebuilding the entire world. I think that's very fascinating. I think it's so hard to guess after episode 1 because, like, we need a lot more info, but it's so much fun to do.
So, just on episode 2, now what you think is going to happen 3, 4, and the arc?
Do you watch previews for the following week?
Yeah.
See, I don't, so I have no idea, and I have no idea what next week's going to be about.
So, Jess, what do you think next week's episode is going to be about? This coming up week.
I'm going to broad guess as I don't look at the things ahead. Setup. like I said, I think we're just setting up, and these White Walkers are going to get there.
Would you like to hear what happened in the preview, or you kind of want to go in?
I kind of want to go in blind.
I think it's going to be I think there's going to be a lot of setup, but I actually think this is going to be much more of I think this is going to be much more of a procedural leading into a big battle.
Okay, I like that. That's cool.
That's what
I dig that. Then. Yeah. That's fine.
But
so if I had to guess off that, your guess, they're definitely getting to one of the major kingdoms.
I think so.
Okay. So if I had to base off your face, I'm going to go with that, and I'm
really
okay with that. I can go with that alone.
But I think you're really going to get a kick out of where we start off. But give us a grade out of episode 1 of season 8.
I mean, it's a goddamn 9.5. Dude.
I agree. I think it's a 9.
It's great television. Like we're talking about some of the best television history. It's like the most watched thing on HBO ever. I'm pretty sure. Like it's crazy.
So stick to our review for episode 2 on the next week's episode of The Good Brothers. Good Brother, we also have some more Endgame stuff that we are getting to, not only of the series finale of Game of Thrones, but we also have Endgame coming right around the corner, and we're not going to spend too much time on it, but it has gone around. Some countries have seen it, and the ending, and some people even say the entire script has leaked online already.
Yeah.
And you know what? Generally, this does happen.
The big thing is like there's a 6-minute video, I guess, out there that has not the ending, but enough snippets where you can kind of piece together a movie.
Have you seen any of it?
No, because I don't do that much. Like I'll listen to interviews and I'll be like, if someone wants to throw out a little fact, like if James Gunn's like, I got a little fact, it's only if you want to spoil, like I'll do that, but I don't do the whole video things. I don't like that.
At any point, are you going to go into media blackout leading into the 25th?
No, because I don't do that either. I'm very middle ground where if I see something, like, if it's just that out in the open, I'm not going to block Twitter.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not going to go through the phase of blocking out all these characters' names. Like, if it's an article that says spoilers, don't click on it.
I've unfollowed all of the articles I've muted all of the people, like, articles that would have that. I'm gonna unmute them once the thing has gone. I'm gonna go on a soft media blackout the week of Avengers. But the big thing that I'm afraid of when it comes to spoilers is the day of the movie at the theater. I don't know if you were with us, but I told everybody who's going with us, I actually am buying myself earplugs for it. Because I'm not afraid of somebody.
You're afraid of a common fan walking in
and being excited, a 7-year-old being excited about the ending, or that Wolverine showed up, or that Deadpool showed up at the big credits.
So has this happened to you before?
No, I know it feels like something that would happen there.
I'm really good at drowning out outside conversation.
I'm not. I'm so observant about everything. So to me, I bought all the tickets. I'm actually getting the tickets early. Yeah. And I am putting my headphones on.
That's a movie I'm definitely showing. The problem is you can't show up too late, though. No. Because that concession line is going to be huge. So
the thing is, I've already told everybody that I'm going to get to my seat the earliest and let everybody I'm going to buy earplugs for everybody if they want them. Otherwise, I think people should bring their own headphones.
We have headphones.
I was going to say, like,
we just use headphones through our podcast on. But, maybe Murder Mysteries and More.
Right. Another episode of Murder Mysteries and More. But, yeah, Alex, so just in general, do you think
spoilers are assholes?
What's your best way to avoid the spoilers if you had to give any suggestions?
You're never gonna avoid a spoiler. Don't click on links that say spoilers.
And I think Facebook is really dangerous too because it's right out there in the open. There's no space or like people just post it.
It's hard. It's a technology day. You can't have it all, people. So if that's the risk of having iPhones and social media, then that's the risk. Like that's how I feel because I use a lot of social media and I love it. And it's like that's the risk you take.
Instagram seems to be the only one that doesn't.
No, Instagram's really hard to get spoiled because they're really on it. Yeah. Snapchat, same thing. Sometimes Snapchat's wrong because if you see like a friend, like if I saw you watch the 1020 show and you're an asshole and you're like Snapchatting the ending, and I'm just scrolling through and I'm like, well, cool, motherfucker, thanks, I'm watching it right now. Right,
but like Instagram seems to be
that's
the one
happened for like lesser movies.
Oh yeah, shout out to Cisco.
I was like, why are you Snapchatting the end of the Creed movie?
Yeah, but I think that's the best way to do it. And again, I just think a soft media blackout is the best way.
Don't click on it. Don't go down the rabbit hole. Like when it's a year ago, I'd go down the rabbit hole because it's like such BS things.
No idea.
At this point, it's like no, I don't go down the rabbit hole anymore because now someone is gonna know.
Yeah, somebody.
And I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah, people have seen the movie and it sounds like it's pretty freaking awesome. So
I hear awesome.
Yeah.
I see. That's what I'm like. I'm glad enough critics haven't seen it where I'm like, oh, we have the early buzz. Yeah. Like we're gonna start hearing the early buzz this week, beginning of next week.
Gut feeling. What do you think the buzz is gonna be?
Not as good as the last one, but it's an epic. Yeah. It's going to be one of those things where it's like, it's an epic, and the ending's fantastic. Movie drags long. They didn't need to be this long. Is Infinity War better? I don't think it's gonna be.
You've already got the narrative
down.
down. You already. Yeah, I think that's. You know what? I actually agree with you. I think it's very much a narrative. I think this is Return of the Jedi.
We're like, it's either gonna be your favorite movie ever, or you're just gonna really love this movie,
or
but like the other one,
yeah.
or like I like Avengers better, but this is freaking amazing. Like I love this movie.
I think this year is 1, 2, or 3. Like it's gonna be right there.
It's very like Avengers,
yeah.
Infinity War, and this where you're like,
yeah.
I don't fault you if New Hope is your favorite Star Wars movie. Right. I don't agree, but I love that movie.
Wrong. Yeah, you're not wrong.
Or you know what? I love Return of the Jedi. You like Empire.
But Empire's better.
I respect your opinion.
Same. Yeah. Other
Empire's
than
not better. It's Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi. Yeah. But definitely just be careful. But we'll be watching the movie the week of my 29th birthday, and we'll be enjoying the Endgame. I'm very old, but Alex, maybe we'll go back in time too to snap the Infinity Gauntlet in our own way. Good brother, that is not the only thing that we have to talk about in the Disney universe. My friend, here in the great city of Chicago, the Star Wars universe was here, and a certain trailer of a certain movie about a certain universe and galaxy came out.
Well, apparently one character.
Yeah, well, good brother, we finally found out what Star Wars Episode 9, the title is, and we got a preview trailer, a teaser trailer.
It was a trailer. They call it a trailer.
Star Wars Episode 9, Rise of Skywalker. First, let's start with simple. Trailer. Did you like it?
It was okay.
Did you think it was too fan servicey?
No, I just didn't think it was that good.
Where do you stand? Which is better, Last Jedi or Force Awakens?
Last Jedi, easily.
Say that a little bit louder, please. I want people to really... Which was better, Force Awakens or Last Jedi?
Last Jedi.
Which is why I think this trailer did not land with you as hard.
Easily.
And for me, I honestly believe the trailer was pretty dang cool, except for one thing. I don't need the Palpatine thing at the end.
I don't mind the Palpatine. I hate the title because I'm like, spoiler alert, Rise of Skywalker.
Let's get into that then. So we do know what the title is. I actually don't think she's a Skywalker.
It's a swerve, bro.
I think that's the name of the new Jedi.
Something like that. Yeah, Harloff had a theory about that, and he's pretty smart. I probably both, honestly. She is probably a clone. Palpatine's there. And it's not that I'm not going to love it. I've told you from day one, there's not a Star Wars movie I don't love. Do I not like Rogue One as much as the other ones? Yeah, it's a little lower on the list. Like, I love Rogue One. It's down there. Did I like Solo better? I did. Did I like the prequels? I love the prequels.
Can I interject too? Mandalorian.
I mean, I can't wait. Like, obviously, we didn't get to see anything, but it looks fantastic.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones connection.
Yeah.
I don't like the title. The trailer was fine. All my favorite characters we didn't get to see a lot of, so I'm okay. Sure. Because I'm a Poe guy. I'm a Finn guy.
We did see them just
no, but I can't wait to see what they're really doing.
Yeah.
I need another trailer. I mean, I don't need it because I'm buying the tickets when they come out. Come on, like opening night. Like Star Wars is probably in my like. If I asked you right now, Mike, and then I'll get to my rants about Jedi. Would you, if they told you can only watch one movie this year, it has to be Avengers or Episode 9? What are you watching?
Avengers.
I go Episode 9.
No, I'm finishing my saga. No, I'm finishing my saga.
But this is a saga also.
No, but
because we're apparently ending the Skywalker saga.
That's not my saga though. Like that's not my saga.
I get it. Like, respectable. Yeah. But I go with Star Wars just because like the universe. This universe made universes.
Which is more important, perhaps moving forward? Maybe the Star Wars is because it has much more pressure on it to land. But which is more relevant in today's day and age? Which has taken the baton of that? It is the MCU. Okay,
I'm gonna throw another one there. So this year only, from right now, at January 1st, you can watch all three. Next year.
Okay.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
So Avengers, let's take Star Wars. You picked Avengers already.
All right. Yeah. So
or Game of Thrones last season.
Game of Thrones last season.
I agree, but I go Star Wars, Game of Thrones. No, actually, Game of Thrones, Star Wars, Avengers. Because when it comes down to, I can wait a year for Avengers. Because guess what? The only two deaths that matter to me are probably going to happen, at least one of them, so I'm cool with that. Game of Thrones, I can't wait a year. I need to know who runs this shit.
It's not close.
Star Wars, I just kind of want to see what happens with Kylo Ren because I got a man crush on him.
Sure.
So I really need to see what happens to my boy. So I'd go, Game of Thrones, Star Wars, Avengers, because I think Avengers, no matter how epic it is, I can wait to know the ending compared to the other ones. I'm like, I kind of want to know what happens.
I mean, and that's fair, but like to me, it's the equivalent of like
kill your baby, dude.
Well, what are they gonna do with Kylo Ren? What are they gonna do with Rey?
Are they gonna redeem him?
Well, but I don't care. Like maybe that's
what
it is.
I do care.
I don't care.
And maybe you care if Tony or Kev lives.
I care much more.
Who doesn't matter?
But this is it's literally like thin as hair. Like I'm talking about in the spectrum of this conversation.
Yeah, of course.
But also, I think Star Wars has not done as good of a job as the MCU has of connecting us with these characters. I think obviously with 10 years of films and like a lot of crossovers is much different than what they did with Star Wars. But what's killed me with Star Wars, I should say what's killed me with Star Wars. What's hurt Star Wars in the conversation with Avengers in this comparison is Star Wars fandom, but Star Wars took too many different directions. The MCU, whether you say it's just safe or I think it's more like a good team, it's structured and they know its game plan.
Safe.
Star Wars doesn't have a game plan or structure. The Force Awakens was one thing JJ wanted to do.
Yeah.
Then Last Jedi came out. That was something Rian Johnson wanted to do. Then you watch this one, and it's complete like saying, sorry about Episode 8. Here's Episode 9.
And that's the problem. They're not doing this for fans. Like, you're not going to convince me that that Avengers is not a safe franchise. Safe doesn't mean bad. Safe means safe. You can call it structure, you can call it whatever. Safe means safe. Like, that's what it means.
What's the New England Patriots of movies?
That's okay. That's what I'm saying. Like, titles are titles, but that doesn't change the fact that, like, you're doing more, you're doing less for more, and I get it. And I do agree with you. That's my rant. It's like, this trailer basically said, if you like Last Jedi, fuck yourself. It doesn't matter anymore. And then it's kind of like you look at the fan base of Marvel. Who are they fighting? DC.
Yeah.
Who is the Star Wars fan base fighting? Each other.
Yeah.
What movie you like? That's the difference. Like you're killing your army.
Cannibalizing yourself.
You're cannibalizing yourself compared to Marvel, where it's like Marvel's like, we'll stand with each other. Yeah, we hate Iron Man 2. It's not that good. But yeah, fuck DC.
Yeah.
And this one's like, oh, fuck Force Awakens. Fuck the prequel. So it's always so. Star Wars fans are more snobbish.
And I think that tie in between.
Sorry, I have one more point before you go on. Yeah. But I'll give this on the other end. When it comes to superheroes, it's hard. When you said the character connection, that was a big thing. It's hard to connect to a character after only because we don't know Rey's lineage one day. Like, if we find out in 20 years Rey's one of the biggest female characters ever, well, no. It's easy with like a Spider-Man, where of course Spider-Man's big because he's been big for 50 years as a character.
But what I'm saying, and it's a great point of living in the present. But what I'm saying is the studio hasn't let us do that.
Oh, studio's terrible.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Kathleen Kennedy is terrible compared to Feige.
And she compared to Feige because she's great at what she does.
She's great, but it's like, dude, you have the master. Like, you're really dropping the ball. When
the same company too, by the way, under Disney.
Yeah,
But I love Kathleen Kennedy.
Just like when Pixar was killing it and Disney Studios wasn't.
Right.
You're really like, why are we not connected?
But like, Daisy really should be one of the biggest stars in the world, and they have not done her any favors.
No, besides Rey.
John Boyega should be one of the biggest stars in the world.
And in their defense, John Boyega got a lot of roles, and he just fucked up.
And they gave him Pacific Rim 2 with no Guillermo del Toro.
Dude, it's still a big franchise, and he did get a couple other nice.
Is it a big franchise, or is it just a sequel of a franchise people were hoping would be big?
It's a bit of both.
What I'm saying is comparative to,
and obviously Oscar Isaac is huge.
Sure. He's the one that made it, right? Like, go figure. Oscar Isaac's the one that made it big on that, and Adam Driver, Academy Award.
I'm saying, so some of them made it,
but not the main, not the two protagonists.
Was Mark Hamill really a superstar, dude?
Harrison Ford was.
That's what I'm saying. But Mark Hamill's a protagonist.
My point is, though, Chris Hemsworth is a star. Robert Downey Jr. is a star. Chris Evans is the only one.
Here's my problem though about that. I love this conversation, by the way, because it's like history to me. Like, Mark Hamill wasn't a star. Carrie Fisher was kind of a star. Harrison Ford was a superstar. And then you look now, you're like, okay, Oscar Isaac's a star. Adam Driver's a superstar. Daisy Ridley, still, we don't know. John Boyega, he's probably going to be pretty big, but I don't know, whatever. And then you look at the Marvel. And yes, I go back to the argument every time. Is Robert Downey Jr. a star? But every time he's not Iron Man, he doesn't do well. So is that a star?
But he gets projects done, which is different.
Dude, we haven't seen Book of Shadows, what's it called? Sherlock Holmes. It's been pushed out for like 7 years, dude. It's not getting done.
Well, because he's been in these movies.
And the Judge sucked.
Yeah, I'm not saying that you're wrong, but then he also had movies like Tropic
Name
Thunder.
One of those members, Mark Ruffalo. Mark Ruffalo excluded. Chris Evans doesn't make good movies. He's not in anything big.
He doesn't make big movies. He makes really good independent movies.
That's fine. Yeah. That's fine. He's not a superstar.
He's a director.
Besides them as their characters, Chris Hemsworth is kind of getting back on track. But let's be honest, like, El Royale didn't do good because of him. He got a weird role. Men in Black might be good. We don't know. It could turn to be Ghostbusters sequel again. He's not killing it. Like, what was his last good movie for Avengers? Thor.
But here's the thing. This goes back to our conversation that their movie stars don't exist in the sense that they did back in blockbuster movie stars like they did. What I'm talking about, famous. What I'm talking about, being able to push products.
Of course, yeah.
But that's what celebrity is today.
Yeah, okay.
It's different
and
now.
Politics. Like Chris Evans is very big into politics.
He's very big in social comparative to how they've done that.
Like, you know who's a superstar? Tom Holland is going to be a superstar.
That's a great.
Chadwick Boseman. That's okay. So here we go. The old guys, the ones leaving.
Originals.
I think that's where Marvel dropped the ball back then. It was like, we don't know what to do outside. I think now they're like Brie Larson, Tom Holland. Like these guys are like going to be Oscar winners.
But hold on, let me ask you this though. We always say this argument in the movie fandom that outside of these franchises they don't have big hits. But how many people have big hits like these franchises to begin with? Honestly, The Rock and Tom Cruise.
Is that the tough one?
That's
like
it.
The Rock and Tom Cruise.
So
like I just literally named the two.
The two people. So what I'm saying then is like, but you can say all that you want, but Tom Holland has a $700 million franchise. Robert Downey Jr. has a $1 billion franchise. Chris Hemsworth is part of a $1 billion franchise.
I'll give you two more. I'll give you Keanu Reeves. I'll give you two. Keanu Reeves, Sylvester Stallone, and even Denzel Washington with Equalizer 3. Technically, that would be a franchise. And he's a superstar.
But yeah, what I'm talking about is...
I'm reaching, but...
Yeah, those are total reach because...
You mean $1 billion franchises.
But what I'm talking about is, outside of that, outside of those movies, The Rock and Tom Cruise are the only people who don't have to put on suits and costume logos on their thing, and they make $1 billion movies. But what I'm saying is, outside of that, we say Robert Downey Jr. doesn't make big movies outside of Iron Man.
He doesn't.
But he has a big franchise.
I get that, but like we're playing as advocate when it comes to they've done better with these guys and these guys, where it's like it's all very similar. The cream rises. I think of that. Like Harrison Ford was meant to be a star. He meant to be a star. Carrie Fisher was a classic not background actor, like a classic side character actor, and she's like when Harry Met Sally, she's one of the best parts in that movie.
Yeah.
And that's tough to be in that movie with such a star cast, but. You know, obviously Mark Hamill's a voice actor. He found fame in voice acting. And to some people, that's bigger. And that's even better that he's one of the best Jokers ever. Some people are like, well, he never was a movie star. Well, maybe some people don't want to be. He's Chucky. He's working this year. He's Chucky.
He's got a renaissance right now. Because there's an appreciation people have
Michael
now.
Keaton didn't work for a long time, and look at him now.
So I think it's really interesting that that's when you brought up
Ryan
the question
Reynolds?
of what we'd rather watch. Yeah, but like when you brought up that question of what we would rather watch, but. You know, I think stuff also hits zeitgeists and things. People are fans of things. Ryan Reynolds is a good actor.
I'll be like this. Ryan Reynolds is the closest one to this new list now because of Deadpool, because of Pikachu coming out, and he just works a lot. He's getting on that level, but he's a superhero. So
but it's also it's not only that he's a good actor and he makes good movies, but he's a great celebrity on social media. So he's a great famous person, so he sells things.
He's Deadpool, dude.
Which is why it's a great combination, which you don't see in the Star Wars universe.
Not
the same way you do with these. Like, tell me the same type of marketing superstar.
What's funny was that the little Chinese girl,
Michelle Tran.
Like, she's pretty much the most social media active, and she quit for a while. But like, they rallied around her.
Great Chicago crowd.
But you're right. But there's also, let's be honest, let's look at these actors. Like all these actors in both franchises are very classically trained actors too. It's hilarious.
But you don't see Daisy Ridley and John Boyega killing the storm like Tom Holland does. He just does something.
They also haven't had 10 films, but they've had 2.
But Tom Holland is in Spider-Man comparative to Daisy Ridley and John Boyega in Star Wars.
Brand new female. You're becoming a female lead in a toxic movie environment.
But in a day and age when we're looking for that character, but in a day and age when we're looking for that, and this new trailer with the Rise of Skywalker is focused on.
I think after this movie, I think they're all going to be superstars because I think they're going to be done. I think, like I said, Oscar Isaac's already there. Boyega's already getting work. I think after this movie, we're really going to see a big uprising. Do
you think there's a big break after this? They've said it, but do you think there's a legit big break between the next
movie-wise?
Episode 10.
Yes. Okay. At least like 5+.
Okay, so 5 years before.
Because they got the TV shows coming out. They're going to make TV movies.
Is there an definitive end to this movie?
Yeah. Is it like Return? Basically, like Return of the Jedi, where you're like, we're done. Like, you're good. They might have kids do this. Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I don't think they're going to leave it open.
Okay.
And, like, who knows? Maybe the next series we don't get the kids.
I was going to say, like, what are the chances
Star Wars, -1.
Do you think in episode 10 it is a Rey continuation?
I don't know. I hope not. But then maybe I watch this movie and be like, God, I need them to come back already. Who knows? Like, I'm more excited to watch this movie and then Disney Plus.
Sure.
Because $6.99, you can't beat that.
No,
you can't beat that.
Yeah,
you're gonna buy
Plus,
it. Yo, give me that password, Mike. You buy that, I'll pay you back later. You tell me what the password is. I got you.
No, absolutely. But Alex, we also want to get ahead of what's going on in the Fox Disney side of things now that we're seeing with X-Men, the new trailer that came out. And you know what's funny, Alex, is a lot.
How bad it looks.
But here's the thing. I thought I was crazy because I was going online, kind of just checking out what the rest of the universe was saying, and a lot of people were really digging this trailer. And what's funny is you and I saw the second to last trailer on the movie theater when the train is rising up at the very end. And we're like, oh, that looks a lot cooler than we've seen. And then I saw this trailer, I'm like, wait. And I know, one of the Kingdom Universe kings in John Campea mentioned, she's like, it's nothing like X-Men 3. There's only little snippets of it. But this trailer makes it seem like it's X3 The Last Stand. Yeah. It doesn't do any favors of anything.
I mean, I don't think any movie's going to be that bad anymore, but, like, Disney's obviously going to bury this. They don't care. New Mutants is going to go to Plus. Like, they just canceled. They canceled Legion, like, a year ago before the merger when they knew it was happening. They canceled that other one on Fox. The
Gifted.
They just canceled that for no reason. That was actually really good views for them.
Yeah.
But, like, you already can tell Disney's already starting to make their, like, slow mark. They already announced Ryan Reynolds is coming back. That's all they really announced. So you're like, okay, realistically, we're going to get Ryan Reynolds Deadpool. We're going to get Fantastic Four. We're probably not going to see X-Men until we see a next phase. Like, that's phase. What are we in, phase 3? We're ending phase 3?
Phase Fantastic Four is probably going to be the next
phase Fantastic Four, and then phase 5 will be the X-Men. Yeah. Maybe a Wolverine. But, like, I don't think we get hardcore X-Men for another 5 years.
Yeah, do you think...
Like, they're just starting to thinking about what they want to do with
Do they mention the word mutants in Endgame?
No.
Okay.
No, no, I don't think so. I think they knew. I think Kevin Feige even said, like, this is their story to tell, regardless of the news transactions. Like,
I agree.
I don't think we get a crazy post-credit scene.
You know, as we get closer to it, I think we get a post-credit scene, but much more in the sense of we're going to get our ending, and then it's going to give us the idea where we're moving forward, but not a launching point.
Like maybe very Thanos terminator, like, I have no idea what we're doing.
The launching point is Spider-Man.
I get it.
The launching point is Spider-Man Homecoming.
It's Spider-Man, it's Far From Home.
Yeah.
Which I think we're starting to realize now it is going to take place after, obviously. Some people are like, well, on the bus ride home. Like, no, that's stupid.
That was fun for a little while.
Like,
but
no,
now
that's stupid. You're a stupid person. Don't say stuff like that.
Yeah, no.
I don't know. I mean, obviously, the big three going forward is going to be.
How do you feel about the cast of the X-Men movies kind of being disappeared? I like the kids.
It's not their fault, but, like, you worked for Fox Studios, man. Like, that's the business.
Had Apocalypse been better, I think we would.
It would have been a lot easier. But then Apocalypse better, you're making Marvel money. Maybe you don't shut down as easily. Maybe you don't. Maybe if Aliens did better. Maybe if the Predators did better. Maybe if you made better movies, like, Disney wouldn't have to buy all these movies and make good movies. Yeah. And that's what makes people angry. And it's like, I get the business. We're not talking business right now. That's not our show. Yeah. There's plenty of, you want to listen to Mike talk politics, so talk politics. Yeah. But I'm like, we feel bad for these people. When we're talking pure entertainment, one studio is making bad movies. One studio, everything they touch is at least good. And, like, that's what we want. I want a good Aliens movie. Yeah. I don't need a masterpiece. I want a good Terminator movie. Like, I want good movies again.
I want you to, give me 8s.
Like, give me 7.5. Give me solid numbers. Like, I don't want this garbage of Predators and this random storytelling. Like, I don't want that.
So, will you watch Dark Phoenix in the theater? Since it's the last
that's our job. Dude.
But, like, in the sense with enthusiasm,
it's a dying studio. I want to see what they were going for. I love the actors. I don't mind a lot of Apocalypse, like 3/4 of it. I think the only X-Men movie that's unwatchable is X-Men Last Stand, honestly. Yeah, I don't. Because I think there's parts of Origins, Wolverine Origins, that are kind of funny and cool. Yeah. Regardless of the CGI. Oh. And I liked Gambit. But, like, I think beside Last Stand, all of them are very enjoyable movies. It's X-Men.
Yeah. Which do you like better, First Class or...
First Class is the best X-Men movie ever made.
I think Days of Future Past is the best.
You're an ass.
And X2 is...
how about this? Days of Future Past extended cut is the best X-Men movie ever made. The one we saw in the theater is not.
Very interesting. I think you're wrong. But that is what we do in the show. You are always wrong. Good brother, what else do we have to hit on today's show?
We'll shout out to the Beehive.
Please, can you go ahead and
you know what? Like, we're not big Beyonce fans. We respect her. I love her. I'll drop some single ladies if I got to. Mm-hmm. Who run the world girls. Like, I get Beyonce. That's just not we're Linkin Park fans. We're just not
Destiny's Child, kid.
I'm not a Beehiver now. I get it. She's I think it's fantastic. Like, this woman dropped a documentary of her compared to Coachella, which her Coachella performance is fantastic.
I heard. I haven't actually seen it.
You should watch it. Like, just the choreography alone is better than anything she did at the Super Bowl. Yeah. She's a character, obviously. Dude, she dropped a 2-hour plus documentary on Netflix. People were up till 3 a.m. Like, it was trending at 3 a.m. Like, that's
genius still.
It's crazy.
Because
it's crazy.
What just dropped and what's coming?
Well, Coachella first weekend. Lion King.
Thank you.
Like she's not done, and like she dropped the album. Like she's the best businesswoman there is. Like it's no doubt. That's why we have to show her love and respect on this show. Because like,
she's got the team behind her. She's a genius.
Yeah. She's a genius with the even team.
Like,
it's like when Daenerys got like the Unsullied and the dragons and Jon Snow. You're like, okay, well, duh, you're gonna be good. Like, oh, you have Jordan and Pippen and Kukoc and Rodman and a good coach. Yeah. Like, come on, dude. Like, it's obnoxious. Like, yeah, and we had to give her love because that's like groundbreaking, like that, and it fell into our world of Netflix.
Yeah. No,
and I think it's fantastic, and I'm hearing great things, and she's on that Oprah level, the Ellen level, where you're like, man, you're just like out of this world, like you're an angel.
She's so super talented.
Like it's amazing.
And even
we're never gonna get another. Like, you're just not going to see another Beyonce.
And she's really not in any bad projects.
No.
Even like us, the Goldfinger was charming in that.
Goldfinger. I love her acting. Like, even
Dreamgirls,
even the movie, the Jealous one with the little white girl and her husband, and like, you know, like she's a crazy wife. Like, she's fun. Like, she has acting chops.
Yeah, I think so.
Like, she's not a bad actress.
She's got entertainment chops.
Like, she does. Like, she is just going to be a star.
And Disney would not make her not loved. They didn't have some confidence.
And let her run the remake to an Elton John song.
Yeah,
like, guess who gets to run remakes to the most famous Oscar-winning songs? John Legend, Beyonce. Like, these are people that you're like, I trust you because you're, like, the greatest musical artist of our generation.
No, absolutely. I can't wait.
Respect to Beyonce.
I actually cannot wait to generally just kind of put it on and just kind of see what she...
Check out her Coachella set, dude.
I was
put it in the background. It's good.
I'm more excited for the Coachella than I am the documentary.
You know what? Maybe the documentary is better for you because it's a film, and film's easier for you to digest it than, like, music.
But, like, even that I can appreciate a great performance.
That's what I'm saying. I think it'll give you both in the documentary, and then you see the background, you're like, damn, that's cool. Yeah, maybe Jay-Z shows up,
Yeah, but, like, just in general, like, I know... and that's the thing is, like, she's one of those performers who she's going to bring it. Yeah. So it's like, I appreciate the fact that she goes hard anything she does. So like to me,
like we haven't like the next Beyonce hasn't even been born yet.
Right now,
yeah.
No, there's no because the next LeBron has been born.
That's like when we had like Whitney Houston, and then Beyonce came along. Now you're like, we're not gonna have another Beyonce for like 15 years.
But we do have an Alicia Keys because I don't think anybody's as talented as Alicia Keys.
Yeah, that's different. We're not talking. We can throw Adele in there too, but this is Beyonce.
As somebody
like this is like when you talk about Prince and Michael Jackson. They go everywhere. They're just
I get
they're things like people like it's like when you look at a picture of like the Pope and like Beyonce.
But that's always been my thing. The better entertainer is Beyonce. The more talented performer is Alicia Keys.
The better singer, you would
say. Because
performer is Beyonce, entertainer is Beyonce,
but the better singer, like the
person I would want to sing might be the best vocalist. So is Amy Winehouse, maybe Adele.
Yeah,
Rihanna. I like Rihanna's songs better than Beyonce's songs, but I get it. But I totally get.
But Beyonce's anthems.
Beyonce's like the Michael Jackson and Rihanna's Prince, where like they're both great, but. One's Michael Jackson.
Yeah, no, totally. Like, that's going to be interesting to see where we end up at when it's all done between Gaga and Beyonce 50, 60 years from now.
But I think Gaga's just going acting more.
I understand it, but which ends up being... One of them has an Oscar for their song now.
Well, one of them's won an Oscar, a Tony. Gaga's won them all.
So what I'm saying
technically Gaga has the more success there. But as a pure entertainer selling out concerts across the world.
Beyonce is one of the most influential people ever to walk on planet Earth.
Gaga's a good example because she had a documentary too. Katy Perry's had one. But obviously Beyonce's the one that breaks the internet.
It's Gaga and Beyonce to me are the comparison of like LeBron and Michael. Or Kobe and Michael. It's like
Kobe and Michael. More Kobe, Michael, where like one just is a lot flashier. But I think knit and gritty, Beyonce's just that Jordan.
I think there's gonna be people who say Gaga's the Jordan and Beyonce.
Oh, some people think Kobe's better than Jordan. I mean, they're wrong, but they're dumb. Like Gaga's great, and I love Kobe Bryant. You're wrong,
man. To me, they're the same in the sense that they're both icons. Like there's no. Once you're an icon, you're an icon. Like there's no Beyonce can't do anything that makes me
Beyonce's the live action is like the real life version of Black Panther. She's just bigger than life.
Sure, you're right. But what I'm saying though is, Gaga moves the needle the same amount.
Not the same amount, because Black culture in this country always comes out stronger.
No doubt,
and that saves it. Yeah,
no doubt. But Gaga, literally is they call her Madonna, and like there was no bigger star than Madonna.
Madonna's great, but Whitney Houston was bigger.
Then Madonna, no, not even close.
But when it comes to certain aspects, yes.
Madonna has been, was, and will be always bigger than Whitney Houston.
I
don't think she was
so.
anywhere near as talented as
I
Whitney
don't think
Houston.
so, but we'll agree to disagree because it's musical choices now. But to finish the conversation, we got into this with Beyonce. Two straight big men who don't listen to her.
Well, because we just said the Mount Rushmore. Madonna,
you throw
Houston.
Madonna on the Mount Rushmore, a female artist?
Yes.
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I wouldn't.
What I want you to do, good brother, is take this snippet of the show and ask every mother at the gym you work at how big of a star Madonna was.
No, I'm not sure, but Mount Rushmore, the top 4 female entertainer, vocalists, whatever you want to say, in everness.
Gaga, Beyonce, Houston, Madonna.
I'd put Adele. I'd put
Over who?
Katy Perry.
Over who? Out of those
Madonna.
Oh my God!
Madonna.
Please, anybody listening to this on social media,
Maybe
correct
I'm
the good
wrong.
brother.
Maybe I'm wrong, but maybe you're wrong. That's what I'm saying. We can both. Who knows, dude? If you made a top 4 NBA list, could you make a perfect top 4 NBA list right now?
Pretty close.
Pretty close. But
Yeah.
there's that number 4 spot that might be this. So
The
we agree on 3,
Well,
dude.
but the
We're literally not agreeing on the last one.
The discrepancy between Madonna and anybody else.
I don't
dude.
think so. But to me, I don't think so. But I get your opinion, and it's tough when you agree on 3 and you're just on that last one, and you're like, well, Madonna would be 5, but I think
Will
this one's
you
better.
ask the people at the gym?
Yeah, but I know the answer because these moms are nuts. It's gonna be Limp Bizkit. I'm kidding. I'll ask them obviously, but I think they would say a more modern person. I think than Madonna.
I think it's going to be Madonna, and you're going to be surprised.
Britney Spears?
No, that's pop. That's really different.
No, we're talking about female vocalists, dude.
No. But Mount Rushmore.
That's
the
what I'm
most
saying.
influ-
Is do we count the person
Hold on.
that she invented her style?
Hold on. No. Britney Spears took from Madonna. That's why they work together.
That's fine. That doesn't mean you can't be better.
The most influential ever. Beyonce, Gaga, Houston, Madonna. That's it.
I don't
And
think so.
it's
I
universal.
don't think so. Is Nicole up?
I think we get Nicole up right now.
You know what? Let's put a bookmark in it.
Yeah.
Let's text her, see if she can come in real quick for this, because I need to settle this. What else? There was something else we had to talk about before Nicole comes in here, hopefully.
I think that's pretty much
we
it.
can come back to it.
we'll
There was
come back
something
to
else I want to talk about on TV. Oh, my God. Walking Dead. They're expanding to another show.
Oh, really? What's that about?
Another, I don't know, dude, but do we need more Walking Dead? Does
No.
anyone watch? No one watches Walking Dead. Is anyone watching Fear?
No.
Why are we adding another one? It's crazy to me that you can still have such good ratings and viewings, and it go down by half, and you're still getting so many that they're like, hey, come in. It's like Monday Night Raw. Oh, half of them are watching. Well, it's still more than anyone else. So, yeah, we'll do whatever the hell we want to do. It's amazing to me that it doesn't matter to Walking Dead. Our viewers are down by half. People aren't watching. People don't like it. We have so many still compared to a Sunday night non-football season. Screw it. We're adding another show. It's money. It's crazy to me. Why do they need a third show, Mike?
You know what? I honestly don't know, but I think it has a lot to do with the fact that you're losing Better Call Saul. You don't have Breaking Bad. You don't have Mad Men. You really don't have that zeitgeist show anymore.
Yeah, and they're trying with these other shows, but HBO kind of took it again because HBO has a lot of good stuff coming out, and Netflix is really competitive again.
Honestly,
it's hard for AMC was really top dog for a while.
What's really killing it. It's HBO, other than Veep and what is it, Barry?
Veep, Barry, for now, Veep, Barry, Westworld, Curb Your Enthusiasm. I'm missing one. Girls was big. The short miniseries. Oh my God. Big Little Lies.
Okay.
No, they got a lot, dude. They got a lot. And then they have Watchmen coming out. They have the new Zendaya show about the ghetto coming out. They have this post-apocalyptic show. They just need, that one good, that one good pilot, and they're back up. Dude.
What was the time difference between The Wire to Sopranos and Sopranos to Game of Thrones?
Dude, 8 years, 7 years. It's almost 10
So
years.
it takes a while, though, for them to...
But then you
find
also
the
got
fit
to
of the
know
next
you had
show.
an Oz in there. You had a Nurse Jackie in there.
Sure, but what I just said, Wire, Sopranos,
No, I know, yeah,
Thrones.
legendary shows. But then,
Yeah.
you look at Walking Dead. I don't consider one of those legendary shows. It's it's a very well-known franchise. I don't consider legendary. I think the only one AMC ever made legendary was Breaking Bad, and I think that's the issue. Oh, it's Nicole.
Yeah, she just got done laying down watching Game of Thrones. Nicole, sit down, please. So we were talking about Beyonce in the last segment, and we were talking about influential. We were talking about influentialness, right? And I said my Mount Rushmore is Madonna, Beyonce, Gaga, who's my fourth one, and Whitney Houston.
Okay. I said all those three. I took out Madonna and put in, I think more of a Britney Spears, even a more modern person. I don't think Madonna necessarily gets top 4. Where do you stand on this?
I was just talking to somebody about this, about like one of our top people, and Britney Spears definitely is in that top ring of like.
How old was this person?
My age.
All right, so a 20.
Okay, but this is the opinion we got, though, Mike.
Fair. Most influential female musicians of all time.
Is Madonna top 4 to you? Like, it's beyond you can say, you may not like Beyonce. To you, and to you think a normal answer, Madonna breaks out of female vocalists ever. Is Madonna a top 4?
I think Madonna changed a lot of music, and she changed a lot of the way that music and design and all of that was created. So yeah, I think she should be in the top. Okay. But I don't think she's necessarily in the top 4 for. Not that she's not in the top 4. I just think that Madonna can't just be cornered into vocalist because she changed a lot. She changed industry.
No, we're talking about entertainment. Like, if you, yeah, so
I think
you're
she's
right.
extremely
No, like your opinion's
influential in the industry because her coming, just who she was, the type of power she had from the beginning, and everything she changed within the industry. She has to be top 4.
So what I'm saying then is my Mount Rushmore being Gaga, Beyonce, Houston, Madonna. That is as solid of a 4 as it's almost hard to chip
mine with Britney in there. Because here's
I would take Gaga off and put Britney on.
But like,
okay, then we're in a different conversation. Because I think the problem with Madonna is I love Madonna. I think it's like being Babe Ruth of it. When a lot of people did what you did much better than you after.
But they did it because of you.
That's fine, but is Babe Ruth on the Mount Rushmore of baseball?
Yeah, he is.
That's tough. Okay,
I don't think he's
like,
the best
it's all
player
opinion,
ever.
and like obviously she's like, I'll take out Gaga, and it's like, well, we'd leave Gaga. Here's our thing. We think Beyonce's number 1. The most influential female vocalist ever.
I
Is that
agree,
right?
but I think Beyonce wouldn't be there if Whitney Houston wasn't be there. So you can't say that you can't use your argument of like, you know, they're doing it better, and it's like,
well, I could use that argument. He couldn't technically, because I said that like since Beyonce's number 1, it doesn't matter that Whitney did it first. Beyonce did it better, so that would be more for you, Mike, to say Beyonce's number 1 and not Whitney.
No, I literally just said they called Gaga the new Madonna. That's why Gaga's on it, Madonna's
on
it.
No, that's fine. We're talking about Whitney and Beyonce. So you're saying Beyonce's number 1, right?
And Britney didn't do it better than Gaga or Madonna.
No, but we're not talking about that. We've conceded that argument. Like, we're pretty good on Madonna right now. We're talking about. So your argument's sake now is it doesn't work for this case because there is no Beyonce without Whitney. So shouldn't Whitney be the proper number 1 to you?
I'm not saying number 1. I'm saying my Mount Rushmore.
Oh, I'm talking about number 1 because I thought we agreed Beyonce was the number 1.
I still think Beyonce's number 1, but that doesn't change my Mount Rushmore conversation.
No, but that's what I'm saying. So Whitney's still. You're not listening. Whitney's still on it.
Yes.
Beyonce's your number 1.
Yes.
Why is Whitney not number 1 if Whitney was the original? If Madonna made it off of being the original,
because I've seen what Beyonce does in front of 80,000 people in different concerts with the production she puts out, opposed to Whitney Houston had probably the greatest voice you've ever heard doing the national anthem at the Olympics. They're two totally different things. You keep emphasizing vocalists. I keep emphasizing influence. There's two totally different things.
And I think Britney Spears did what Madonna did better.
Right.
But the influence. And I think Nicole's going to let Nicole talk about it. The influence, though, starts from Madonna. And it was so influential that John Cena may have done what Hulk Hogan did it better. Hulk Hogan is the version of it.
So it's a tough argument. Nicole, you kind of close this out for us. Yeah. See where you stand.
My thing is you can't use the argument for one and not use it for the other. And that's what you're doing is you're blocking it off from one argument to the other. You can't say that, well, Britney Spears did it better, so it doesn't matter that Madonna did it. But if we're saying the same thing for Whitney Houston, it can't be one and not the other.
Well, no, but I agree to both. Like, I think Britney did it better than Madonna. I think Beyonce did it better than Whitney. That's why they're at the bottom of the list. So I agree to both my arguments. Like, Beyonce and Britney are above both of them because they did it better.
But that's why Madonna has to be in the top 4 because without Madonna, none of this music would have happened.
I also think Gaga did it better, too. That's the point. I think Gaga and Britney did it better than Madonna.
Oh,
Whitney,
I don't
Beyonce.
think so.
Yeah,
Vogue
it's
was
music,
Vogue was one of
Like
the
a virgin, she created MTV. She's one of the biggest. Madonna's literally like the rock, the Elvis Presley of all that. But what I would talk about, I'm not talking about a list. Like I think a list would be fun. I'm talking about Mount Rushmore. We're building up. Which one has it? North Dakota or South Dakota? Which one's?
Shit, I don't know.
Wherever
North.
the other one,
North Dakota.
whichever one doesn't have it, we build that Mount Rushmore there, and I think those are my 4. I'm not saying it's right, but I think if I tell the universe these are the 4 I want to put on our Mount Rushmore, the universe genuinely be like, yeah, that's a pretty safe top 4 influential female singers.
Just for a little clarity to close out, Billards, obviously the music, they do everything. Their number 1 is
Billboard?
Beyonce. Sorry, Billboard. Yeah,
Billiards is
I know. I'm reading a real small print.
BD Wong.
Their
okay.
number 1 is Beyonce.
Yeah.
2 would be Mariah Carey.
Mariah
Taylor
Carey.
Swift, Whitney Houston, Rihanna, Adele, Katy Perry, Lady Gaga, Alicia Keys, Madonna, Aretha Franklin, Pink, Christina Aguilera, Janet Jackson, Celine Dion. So now that I read some of these people, I'm like, shit, we left off like Celine Dion. We left off Taylor Swift. We left off. So it's tough. Like, obviously, this is a fun conversation if we're never going to talk music. Man, I could literally change my Mount Rushmore right now, and I think the only common denominator is Beyonce.
I think Beyonce. I think Madonna. I honestly think that's a generational one.
But I think that might start getting more personal after seeing that list of people that you're like, Madonna still has to be there. And I respect it, but I think Beyonce's the only hands down has to be in.
But what I'm saying is law of averages. She's a top 10er. So that means chances are that there's going to be a generation before us that's going to always vote for her. There's our generation that might vote for her.
Celine Dion could take that spot.
Only by the old people, though.
But we're talking about older. You're talking about a semi-older generation at this point. So now we're counting an extra 20 years between Madonna and then Celine Dion or something. But after naming those people, do you add anyone, Nicole, that you're like, I can't believe I forgot them? Aretha Franklin?
Aretha Franklin for sure. I mean, but here's the thing: like, if you're gonna go, if there's no time frame on any of these, like Eartha Kitt, like, come on, there has one of the most influential singers because of what she was not able to do and the barriers that she crossed to do it. You know what I mean? Like, she's the reason for a lot of the singers that we have. So I think that it has to be gauged in a certain way.
Yeah.
I think that if we are selling tickets, my Mount Rushmore is making much more than your damn T Swift and your damn
I'll throw
historical
T Swift
one.
in mine. She's the number 1 selling.
And
I'm making the
and
money.
Screw billiards. I mean billboards. I know
Billiards.
stupid lids.
Want to play billiards,
All
Mike?
right, guys, let's go home. That's this episode of The Good Brothers. It was supposed to be
Tell
half
us
an
your
hour,
Mount
and it's an
Rushmore.
hour. Let
We
us know
started
your
arguing. We had to arguing about the Mount Rushmore of female entertainers in the world.
Unbelievable. Lovely Nicole, thank you for joining us. And you catch her on Typing When Tipsy, Murder Mysteries, and more. And you can go back to quote unquote sleep with your pretend sleep and watching Game of Thrones. Thank you. Appreciate you.
I put pants back on for this guy.
You're like, I got dressed, guys.
Good brother. Any last thoughts? So good conversation. Hopefully, I think it'd be good fodder for the
That's
internet.
a good palate cleanser for Avengers because it's going to be also heavy Avengers. That I think that's a nice, fun
Live production.
That was a fun one.
Yeah, live production. What are we doing next week for Avengers?
Talking Avengers.
That's it?
And more Avengers.
Okay.
And then Game of Thrones and Avengers.
All right, so I guess
Game of Thrones and Avengers, people.
Okay, next week-
unless something crazy drops.
No, cool. Game of Thrones and Avengers next week. Bookmark it, guys. Unless something like Alex said.
Yeah, well,
really
the
drops,
normal.
but,
We'll
yeah,
talk
but
some
we'll do a headline
breaking news,
Yeah.
Game of Thrones, and then it's all Avengers all day.
Perfect. So officially, we're on the countdown, good brother. Awesome. All right. So for the good brother himself, Alex Mercado. I'm the good brother, Mike Mercado. We'll see you in the next episode when we cover episode 2 of the final season of Game of Thrones and Avengers Endgame.
Dun, 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 dun. That's bad.
That's bad, man. That's bad, man. Good brother. Good night, everybody.
Thanks for joining us here on The Good Brothers, here on Mercado Airwaves. Enjoy our shows? Follow the Mercado Airwaves crew all over social media. Like us on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. On Instagram, Nicole is at Typing When Tipsy, Alex is at Mercado2121, Mike is at Mike Mercado2333, and our true crime show is at Murder Mysteries and More. And on Twitter, Nicole is at Typing When Tipsy, Alex is at Mercado21Alex, and Mike is at mmercado2333. You can follow the network at Mercado Airwaves. Follow our pop culture show on Twitter at Good Brothers Pod. Get us on the go by downloading our programs anywhere you get your favorite podcasts, like iTunes, SoundCloud, Podbean, Stitcher, and other popular sites. Just search us at Mercado Airwaves. While you're at it, please like, rate, review, and share us with your friends. Visit us on youtube.com/MikeMercado2333. Click the subscribe and like button to get notified every time a new episode or interview is posted. Support Mercado Airwaves by visiting patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves, the home of our interviews with athletes and celebrities, which you can get ad-free and early before it's released to the public. Come play video games with us on Twitch, twitch.tv/Mercado Airwaves Network. Mercado Airwaves is powered by Munch Art Design. Like them on Facebook at Munch Art Design. Voiceover work on Mercado Airwaves is performed by Josh Fox. Enjoy our shows? Follow the Mercado Airwaves crew all over social media. Like us on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. On Instagram, Nicole is at TypingWhenTipsy, Alex is at Mercado2121, Mike is at MikeMercado2333, and our true crime show is at Murder Mysteries and More. And on Twitter, Nicole is at TypingWhenTipsy, Alex is at Mercado21Alex, and Mike is at MMercado2333. You can follow the network at Mercado Airwaves. Follow our pop culture show on Twitter at Good Brothers Pod. Get us on the go by downloading our programs anywhere you get your favorite podcast, like iTunes, SoundCloud, Podbean, Stitcher, and other popular sites. Just search us at Mercado Airwaves. While you're at it, please like, rate, review, and share us with your friends. Visit us on youtube.com/MikeMercado2333. Click the subscribe and like button to get notified every time a new episode or interview is posted. Support Mercado Airwaves by visiting patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves, the home of our interviews with athletes and celebrities, which you can get ad-free and early before it's released to the public. Come play video games with us on Twitch, twitch.tv/Mercado Airwaves Network. Mercado Airwaves is powered by Munch Art Design. Like them on Facebook at Munch Art Design. Voiceover work on Mercado Airwaves is performed by Josh Fox.
What's up, friends? Mike here from Mercado Airwaves. If you missed any one of our past interviews with amazing guests like future Hall of Famer and pound for pound best fighter in the world, UFC flyweight champion Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson,
It's another day at the office, I get to go out there and test my skill.
to award-winning producer, director, and actor Orlando Jones,
Orlando, how you doing,
Hey,
buddy?
sir. I'm good, brother. How you doing?
and all the other interesting guests we've had on. Joining us today is director and writer David Ferrier.
Thanks so much, brother. I appreciate you having me on the show.
MMA legend Chael Sonnen joins us today.
Keep listening to your show. This is great. Thanks, my friend.
Just subscribe to us on iTunes at Mercado Airwaves. And while you're there, please like, review, and rate us, friends. It helps so much. We also have a Patreon for anyone who would like to support the show. Just visit us at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves and see how you can get all of our interviews ad-free and before anyone else, and how you can get your business or company spotlighted on the show. Follow us on Twitter at mmercado2333. Like us on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. Subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/MikeMercado2333. And if you would like to see what we're up to behind the scenes, follow us on Instagram, MikeMercado2333. Thanks for listening and all the support.